A moment of science with Teacher Albs. Hello, dear learners. Welcome to a fun and exciting learning session where we explore the wonders of science. Because where there is wonder, there is wisdom. This is Module 2 of Quarter 1 lesson of Science Grade 7. Elements are like spices. When mixed together, they become better. I am Teacher Albs, your learning partner for today's lesson. In this module, the most essential learning competency is recognize that substances are classified into elements and compounds. In your previous science lesson, you learned that matter is anything that has mass and volume. If you look around, everything you see is matter. The books, tables, chairs are examples of matter. Can you think of other examples of matter that you can see around you? Pure substances are classified as matter. In our lesson today, you will learn that pure substances can be further classified into elements and compounds. In our lesson today, you will be able to describe the characteristics of elements and compounds, distinguish elements from compounds based on a set of properties, and classify substances as either an element or compound. Are you ready to learn? Let's get started! Did you drink enough water today? I hope you did, because water is essential to our body. Water is everywhere. We use it every day. It is one of the basic needs of living things, including humans like us. We drink water when we are thirsty. We use it in cooking, washing, and cleaning. Without water, life would be impossible. But have you ever wondered what is water made of? Water is a pure substance. In chemistry, when we speak of pure substance, we are referring to something that is made of only one type of atom, or only one type of molecule, or a group of atoms bonded together. In this case, pure substances are mostly homogeneous in nature and have uniform composition all throughout. Pure substances can be classified into two: elements and compounds. Water is one of the most commonly used compounds. But what are the components that made up water? Did you know that through the process of electrolysis, or the passage of electric current, water can be decomposed into its two component elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Now, what are elements and compounds? How are they similar? And how are they different? Let us find out in our lesson today. Elements are the simplest chemical substance in which all atoms are exactly the same. There are 180 known elements, and each element has different set of properties. Remember, no two elements have the same set of properties. Since 118 is quite a big number, the early scientists systematically organized all of the 118 elements in what we call the periodic table of elements, or sometimes simply referred as periodic table. Don't worry, there is no need to memorize the periodic table, but it is an advantage to be familiar with it. The elements in the periodic table are grouped in three classes: metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Metals are elements that are good conductors of electricity. Examples of metals are iron, gold, and silver. Nonmetals are elements that do not conduct electricity. Examples of nonmetals are nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen. And finally, the metalloids, which have some properties of both metals and nonmetals. They are referred as semiconductors. Examples include boron, silicon, and germanium. When two or more elements are chemically combined in a fixed ratio,
a compound is formed. Hence, compounds are chemical substances that are made up of two or more elements that are chemically combined. When the elements combine, some individual property of the elements are lost, and the newly formed compound has new properties. For instance, water is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Although these elements are the components of water, they have different properties. Hydrogen is a flammable gaseous substance, and oxygen, a highly reactive nonmetal, supports burning, while water extinguishes fire. Hydrogen and oxygen exist as gases at room temperature. Water, on the other hand, is liquid at room temperature. As you can see, the compound water, which is composed of the elements hydrogen and oxygen, has properties that are distinctly different from the elements which it is made of. In other words, when elements combine to form a compound, a different substance is formed.
To better understand elements and compounds, let us answer the activities that follow.
Let us consider these two pictures. Which do you think is an element? How about the compound? Right. The first picture is an element. Elements are composed of only one type of atom with the same set of properties. The second picture is a compound. Compounds are made up of elements that are combined chemically and composed of two or more elements. In the given illustrations, let us identify which are elements and compounds. For the first illustration, is this an element or a compound? Right, this is an element. For the second illustration, is this an element or a compound? Exactly. This illustration depicts a compound. How about the third illustration? Do you think this is an element or a compound? Good thinking. The third illustration is a compound. Let us proceed to the fourth illustration. Is this an element or a compound? Exactly. The fourth illustration is an element. How about the last illustration? Impressive! This is a compound. Now let us proceed to our next activity. Welcome to our virtual science laboratory. Look around and you will see different substances. Did you see the cabinet full of different substances? Great! Inside the box are the substances that are found in the cabinet. Can you classify which among these substances are elements and compounds? I know you can. Please write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. Let's get started. Now let us check your answers. Which among the substances are elements? The elements are iron, sulfur, carbon, copper, aluminum, and chlorine. Now the compounds among the substances are sodium chloride, baking soda, distilled water, and sugar. These are the compounds among the substances. Did you get the correct answers? Impressive!
Way to go! You are really working hard today. In our lesson, you learned that elements are composed of only one type of atom and they cannot be broken down anymore, while compounds are composed of two or more elements that are chemically combined, and they can be broken down into their component elements through a chemical process. This time, let us find out how well you understand our lesson today. Please bring out your module and answer the activities on pages 24 and 25. Write your answer on a separate sheet of paper. I know you could do it! Congratulations! I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed our lesson. Thank you for watching and see you on our next learning experience. Remember, wisdom begins in wonder. Sulong Edukalidad!